I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Claggio, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond, as we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom.
You know, one of my favorite fishing opportunities here in Colorado, where I live, are the lake trout or Mackinaw fishing in the mountains. And probably the best guide I know in this area, and one of the best lake trout fishermen and anglers in general that I know, is Bernie Keefe. Now, over the course of the last few years, both for various television shows and just to go have some fun, we've done quite a bit of fishing with Bernie. So we're going to take you today through some different times of the year and different aspects of lake trout fishing up in the Lake Granby area with Bernie Keefe. We're going to start out in the fall, which is typically a numbers game. We're not chasing big fish at this time, but it's not uncommon to get 30, 40 fish days of nice lake trout. So let's get out on the water and do a little lake trout fishing with Bernie Keefe. Hey, we're out here today. We're on Granby Reservoir with Bernie Keefe. Bernie, it's just a pleasure to finally fish with you. We've talked so much. You call in the radio show, and we feel like I fished with you before, but it's going to be our actual first time in the boats together.
And it's great to be out here with you, Terry.
And joining us today is one of my many bosses. This is Tim Spence. Tim, hey, we're finally glad to get you out fishing with us.
I appreciate it.
And we're going to be jigging for lake trout. We're here in October, and if you've never fished for lake trout on Granby in October, you're in for a treat. Bernie, how many fish can we expect to catch in a day?
Oh, I think you can expect to catch 20 to 30, maybe up to 50 in a day.
And these aren't going to be monsters, but they're going to be nice fish.
They're going to run, 16 to 22 inches on an average, and you really have a shot at a realistic shot at a 15 to 20 pounder, and I think there's 30 and 40 pounders. So I know there's 30 pounders in here. I think there's 40 pounders in here also.
This is one of my favorite fishing experiences in Colorado. I mean, because how many people at any given time really get to catch a number of 18 to 20 inch fish, much less the numbers we're talking about if they catch any, and in this kind of a setting. I mean, we're going to show you the scenery, folks. You look around, we got the Green Mountains. It's a pretty nice place, wouldn't you say, Tim?
Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you could not have asked for a better day and just gorgeous weather, and it's beautiful out here.
And if you're new to this, one of the best ways to learn it is to come fishing with one of the best guides up here, and that's Bernie.
Lift it up. That little rhythm going. Nice and subtle, nice and soft. This time of year, it's a slow working kind of jig. Okay, get your rhythm. Oh, that's a bite. See that? Set the hook, set it. Yeah, baby. Go ahead and open up your bail. Good fight. Most of them are gonna look like. Woohoo!
Bernie's got one on. You know, we're here to kind of show you what a typical guide day is like with Bernie, but on a normal guide trip, that's probably one to put in the live well, eh, Bernie?
Yes, that's a good eater.
You know, on a typical guide day, on a typical guide trip day, Bernie does, we almost had a double there. Bernie doesn't get to fish, but because we're, there, Tim's got one on. We got it going now. All right, Tim.
Ah!
Let me see. The action is heating up. What I was saying anyway, on a typical guide trip, Bernie doesn't normally fish because he takes the guides out. We want to kind of show you what a typical guided day with Bernie is on Lake Granby, but we all want to have a good time fishing. We also want to show you that what the action can be like out here and just how much fun this lake is. And we're taking a really laid-back attitude today and just enjoying it. I'm actually fishing out of my boat, using it as the camera boat right now. We're switching back and forth from boat to boat. You'll see different shots of us in the different boats. And there we go. All right, I'll tell you what, this is so much fun. This just is such a blast. There we go. Oh, little one, I think I'll let this one go right down in the water. We'll get him back out. And away we go.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, better fish, Tim, good fish. All right, way to go. Woo. So tell me, Mr. Spencer, are you having a good time this morning?
I'm having a great time.
Brilliant colors on these, they're nice and dark.
Well, Bernie, you know, I want to thank the guys at the lodge. And the name again so we get it right.
It's Snow Mountain Ranch, YMCA of the Rockies.
And it's part of the, as YMCA is an international organization, right?
It is.
It
It is an international organization.
But I'll tell you what, the accommodations you guys provided for us were just incredible. I don't know how many bedrooms are in that cabin and bathrooms, but I'll tell you what, folks, modern cabins. And I kind of teased Bernie when we got out of the truck because he looked out over the canyon and you could see the lake off way in the distance and the forest and these rugged mountains. And I said, and he's standing on the balcony. I said, Bernie, I was kind of hoping for a place with a view. I mean, it was spectacular. What a great place.
It's a nice place. You know,
And we
it's a
wanna
great family place.
We want to thank them for, you know, providing the accommodations. And we'll show you about the lodge. They've got cabins. It's a huge facility. How many cabins?
There's 62 cabins.
And then besides that, there's lodges.
There's 4 large lodges, let's say 40 bedrooms apiece.
And it's not expensive to stay there.
No, it's not. It's very affordable for practically any family.
And it's is it booked pretty far ahead, or how easy is it? Do you have to call, you know, to get a room? How far ahead do you usually have to call?
You know, during your spring break, you have to book that ahead. For Christmas to New Year's, you have to book that ahead. Your average weekend, probably a couple weeks in advance, sure wouldn't hurt.
Well, yeah, you mentioned we're up here fishing now. It's October, and this is beautiful weather. It's kind of the off season, but summers are busy there. But you can stay there if you ski too, right?
Right. It's a big ski resort.
You can shuttle right from there to this Winter Park.
They have buses move you.
And you can even rent your skis right at the lodge.
Yes, you can.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to put the contact information up here for the lodge, but we really want to thank them for letting us stay there. The accommodations were beautiful, a great place to stay, and it just added to the enjoyment of the whole trip. There we go. Oh, yeah. Fish on. It might be a better fish. No, it's typical. Oh, it's fat though. Oh, typical fat lake trout. I'll tell you what, the fishing in this lake is so phenomenal. It's just unbelievable. Here, I'll get him out of the net. There we go. There we go. Another Grand Lake, lake trout. Grand Lake in the Rocky Mountains. I'll tell you what, it's just what an awesome place to fish.
There's one.
I suppose I got to get the net.
Well, we got to give you something to do, Terry.
Well, you know, we got so tired of you catching fish from the back of the boat, we made Chris go to the back of the boat, and you got him up here and you're still catching a fish. I guess it's just your water.
I do it once in a while.
You know, really, in all seriousness, when you're guiding, you probably don't do much fishing.
I really don't.
Give me the rod, I got it. And that's the thing, when we fish on the show with people who guide, we encourage them to fish. Obviously gives us a better opportunity. Another typical Grand Lake lake trout. But you know,
thank you, sir.
Typically, you know, Bernie is probably not used to, he fishes a lot by himself, but when you got people in the boat, you get that mode of running the boat. He always wants to put tackle on for me and fix things up, but you know, it's just a credit to you as a guide that typically a good guide probably isn't going to spend a lot of time fishing. He's taking care of the clients and putting them on fish.
I never get a fish when I guide. I refuse to fish when I guide. I like to pay attention to everybody else and see what's going on, see what I can help fix, and see what I can teach people.
You know what else I've learned from guides, never having guided myself, but being around guides and spending so many time fishing with people, you learn to watch people's rod tips. A lot of times you find out more what's going on with the hits and bites, and you'll see bites and hits and things going on that they don't even know themselves. Isn't it amazing sometimes?
I think I have learned more from guiding people on the water than I have from actually fishing. From seeing the hits and not seeing the rod tip, watching the line, you'll learn a lot more when you're actually not holding the rod and watching what people are doing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I've learned new techniques from people who I thought were screwing up, and
until
actually
they caught
did really
fish.
good.
Well, I'll tell you what, I fish with people. My producer Karen's a great example of this. She loves to fish jigs, and we'll be out walleye fishing, and she'll pitch jigs into places where I'm going, okay, I'm not going to say anything, but we're out in a boat, or in Glenda one time, we're coming around this end of this point, and I knew we were going too fast to ever get a jig out because I'm moving the boat out to the cover, out down to the fish, into the strike zone. So she pitches this jig out, hits the point, moves it about 6 inches, and catches the biggest. Oh, Chris has got one, and catches the biggest walleye of the trip. You want to net his fish, or give me your rod? I got it. Come on, bring it up here, Chris.
Karen does that a lot to you, I hear.
Yeah, she does. All right, Chris. I tell you what, the action just goes steady here, folks. It's just really amazing. You know, as we progress through the seasons fishing, there's different times of the year you can chase numbers of fish or target big fish. Ice fishing is one of those opportunities when you can do a little bit of both. So now we're going to take you back out with Bernie in the middle of the winter and through the ice up at Lake Granby, chasing lake trout with some of our friends from Sun Honda.
Hey, we're out here today and it's cold. We're at Granby Reservoir, just outside of Granby, Colorado, but it's about 4 below. But believe it or not, we think it's going to be a beautiful day. The sun's coming up, and we think it's going to really get in the 20s. If the wind doesn't come up, it's going to be a great day. We're going to take you out ice fishing. We're joining Bernie Keefe. You've seen him on the show before. Morning, Bernie.
Morning,
now,
Terry.
why I took my glove off, I don't know.
I won't.
Bernie, you've heard him on the radio show and you've seen him on the TV show before. This is your lake. What kind of a day do you expect today?
You know, any guide trip, I'd expect 20 fish with a shot at a larger one. We'll see if we get them. Maybe so, maybe not.
We're going to head out. Now, normally, if it was just Bernie and I going, we'd run and gun, just hit a couple spots. If we didn't find fish, we keep going. We got this rowdy group from Sun Honda with us today here. They brought their ATVs with. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the ATVs. We want to show you how versatile these ATVs are. We're going to get out on the ice. We're going to probably set up a small village when we get out there with some tents and some shelters, and we'll get set up, and we're just going to have a great day out there. About halfway down the way.
So you pound the bottom, just lift it up a couple inches. Think crawdad a lot, okay? So you get a rhythm going, nice and slow, nice and smooth. They don't like jerky. So get it nice and smooth, get that rhythm going. Anything that interrupts that rhythm is a fish. So when you're doing that, when you're going, most of your hits are going to come right now anyway when you're setting it down. So if you hit bottom an inch too early, that's a bite. Set the hook. And when you set the hook, you go from here to here. When we do it quick and hard and powerful, hold your rod up high, get on the reel, reel down under bend.
Fish on.
All right.
Got one. Pull that transducer out of there, would you? All right, we'll talk more about the ATVs in a minute. All right. It's just this is a nice one, not a giant or anything. We'll get his head in the hole and we'll be fine. He wrapped a little bit. We got it. Oh, it's a nice one. Nice fish. Nice, typical Granby lake trout. Now, folks, we don't expect to catch giants, although there could be fish up to 40 pounds in this lake. But this is exactly what we expect to catch. Fish like this all day. And I'll tell you, we'll catch numbers of them. It's not uncommon to catch 30, 40 of these a day and just have a really good time. Right. Got another fish on. All right. All right. Didn't even get my line back in the water from the last one. Mark's the man today. Right. Mark, the first time ice fisherman, the Sun Honda guy. Now you know why you're a sponsor. I get to keep you.
Great. This is great fun.
All right. Haven't seen him yet. All right. Now ease his head into the hole. Ease his head into the hole. This is where you want to be careful. This is where most of them are lost, folks. Once you get their head started in the hole, you got them. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. Okay. Here we go. Now we can just lift them out. Oh. There we go. Another nice fat one. Boy, these fish are fat and healthy. That's another keeper too. Yep, we're there. All right,
guys. We're having lunch today, right, guys?
Yeah. Another keeper lake trout. Look at how nice and fat and healthy. You know, that's really a sign that this fishery is coming back, folks. Let me tell you, this is just awesome. We're just gonna have a great time out here. And you know what? The heck with you. I want to get back and catch another one. Well, Bernie, I want to thank you for setting this trip up for the guys from Sun Honda and me. It's great to fish with you again.
Terry, you know it's always fun fishing with you. These guys are always great to have out.
You know, you folks watching out there, Bernie's kind of become a regular on the show. He gets more airtime than I do. But you hear him on the radio show a lot. And Bernie, how long you been? You guide up a Granby, summer and winter. Obviously winter, we're out here on the ice.
Obviously winter. I guide up in summertime also, year-round.
Fishing forever.
Fishing this lake forever.
I know. Bernie, you're one of the most knowledgeable lake trout fishermen I've ever fished with, and we've always done really well with you. Most of the time in Granby, you're fishing numbers of nice size, eater size type fish.
Granby is a numbers place anymore. It's a good place to come. I always tell people it's a good place to come to learn to fish lake trout.
Oh, it is, really.
If you learn here, you can go anywhere throughout the West and catch lake trout with the same techniques you have here.
And because of the numbers of small fish here that are so prolific, it's a good place to harvest a few.
Right.
That's a dink, Bernie. Everybody else is catching bigger fish.
Terry, it's the first fish of the year. I got to be happy with it.
Actually, it's a nice, healthy fish. Just exactly what we're trying to catch out here today. You know, if you get your hand in their mouth, they do hurt. Nice, another nice, healthy eater lake trout. Granby, Colorado, fishing with Bernie Keefe. Thank you, my man, and the boys from Sun Honda.
This might be a better fish, guys.
Easy.
Just let him take his time. If he's going to make a run on you, you can stop. The minute he stops running, you can reel.
It's either a bigger fish or Pete's really nursing this for airtime, I'll tell you.
Oh, it's a better fish. I think you're going to be happy with this one, Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Working with the pole.
That's cool to watch him swim underneath
you just made him a little bit mad.
Oh, he's diving.
Pete, why don't you complain about the jig he gave you again?
Yeah.
You know, I knew when he put it on there that was going to be the home run lure of the day.
No, that's not what you said 10 minutes ago.
All morning long, Pete's been going, you give me this Kermit the Frog lure.
Yeah, okay, well, I just hadn't seen a frog with seven
on it.
I hadn't seen a frog with 7 legs before. That's good grief.
Pete, you know you're taking away from my fishing time now.
I don't know who's winning here.
Oh yeah! Golly! Look at that!
Pete! That a beauty. So Pete, Tell me about that jig that's no good.
Well, at first I had my doubts, but trust Bernie because what he tells you is right. Okay?
So, fish of the day so far.
So far.
Way to go,
Day is
Pete.
young. Well,
All
thank
right.
you.
I'll tell you what, Pete, that's one we're not going to keep.
Nah,
So
we're gonna
let's
put this one back. Catch it next time.
That'll be here for somebody else. Let's get him back in the hole.
All right.
That's what you guys were saying.
All right, Pete! You know, whether I'm fishing a river in Colorado or the flats off the Florida Keys, one of my most important accessories are my Vision polarized sunglasses. Not only do they allow me to see into the water, see the fish, but they protect my eyes from the intense UV. Vision makes great high-end polarized sunglasses for men and women, and you can avoid the typical retail markup for high-end glasses by logging on to habervision.com and using the member code FISHTECH.
I hope you're enjoying Fishing with Bernie. In fact, that's his website, fishingwithbernie.com. We'll put that up here. We'll have it again in the credits if you want to go with him. And you know, in the fall, we go up and we target numbers of fish and have a great time. And when we ice fish, we go through, for both numbers and sometimes large fish we target. You can do either one. But certain times of the year, spring, ice out, and into summer, Bernie has been really great at just targeting big fish. Now, we actually haven't gone up and filmed that time of the year with him, but we have gone up and fished for fun. In fact, my producer Karen and I went up there, and one day, you'll see some pictures here, one day we only caught about 8 or 10 fish this day, but here's 2 or 3 of those fish, and look at the size of this. I think we had 4 of the fish we caught that day, would have totaled about 80 pounds, so averaged about 20 pounds apiece. Bernie has really gotten good at targeting these big fish. So, you know, if you want to fish lake trout in Colorado, whether you want to chase numbers, you want to go open water, you want to ice fish, you want to target big fish, go fishing with Bernie. There's the website again. Join us next week on Angling Adventures Television.